What's up, YouTube? You know, they say it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they're being fooled. And that's kind of what this video is going to be about. But I wanted to touch on a few things in this video. But before I get started, I want you to go ahead and hit like and subscribe. The last video that I did was about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And it went kind of crazy in the comment section. So go check out that video. I'll put the link at the end of this video. But that kind of is the catalyst for this video. So you've seen the title where I asked the question, was OJ right for leaving the black community? Now, OJ, he just passed away a couple weeks ago. And OJ Simpson had a unique life experience. And we all know about his football fame and his wealth that he accumulated. And then it all kind of started to crumble when his wife, what happened to his wife. And then also he went to the classic trial, which almost divided America along the lines of race. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about race. I'm going to talk about class and access to capital and things like that. And then the views of people who were in my comment section on the Tulsa Real Estate Fund video that I did. Okay. Because as I'm walking around in this neighborhood, some people had a problem with the fact of where they feel I live. And I think too, some people may call them pro-blacks or whatever. I don't know. But what I'm saying is one particular person kept asking me, well, how many black people live where you live? And I'm like, dude, I have no idea. I see black people all the time, but I don't live my life thinking that. But wherever I go, when I walk around, I see black people. I go out on my walks. Actually, I just see the black dude just walk past me. But this dude in my comment section was so adamant that, oh, look where you live and look how privileged you are. Okay, this is what one says, even though they don't know me. And then here comes another, what you would probably call a pro-black. He calls me broke because I said that at the end of that video, I started talking about politics. And obviously, we know who's in the presidency right now. And since he's been in office, gas prices have gone up, housing prices have gone up, food prices has gone up, inflation's out of control. And so this other guy comes and tells me I'm broke because I shouldn't be complaining about that, because if I just work harder, things would be better. That has nothing to do with the fact that the gas prices are higher, the food prices are higher, the inflation is out of control, and they're giving all our money away like candy. So these people, they really don't even know the hypocrisy that they spew when they think about these topics. Because a lot of times, really, they're living in a denial. They're not living in any type of reality. Okay? Because they think some boogeyman is behind a tree out to get them. And I don't think that anymore. I used to. When I was brainwashed, I used to think that way. But luckily, I became conscious and really understood what goes on in the world and how people really work. Hit the like button, press subscribe. And so this brings us to OJ Simpson. Let's talk about OJ. And we'll also talk about, once people get money, black people especially, what do they do? Because this is what OJ has to do with this. OJ passed away, but as a young man, OJ Simpson, he grew up in the Bay Area, I believe in San Francisco, in the probably early 40s, I would imagine. Now, he grew up in the projects, and he said that he saw prostitution. He was in, a little gang where they would rob houses and do things like that. Things that you don't want in a neighborhood. Things that you, as a parent, would not want your children to be involved in. Now, his parents separated, and he was a product of a single mother-led household. Now, his father was around, and there's other issues with his father, whatever, but we're not going to go into that. So he has this athletic ability, God-given ability that allows him to go to USC. And so he's plucked from the African-American community and he's placed into white society. And he's almost seduced by white society. He loves it probably because he doesn't have to deal with the same things that he was dealing with when he was in the projects around the majority black people. So once he gets seduced by white society, he's thinking like, okay, and he said this himself. He always was thinking about how can I separate my race from me as a person? How can people just look at me as a person as opposed to just a black man? He said these words. Now, he did that through fame, by becoming famous. So people, when they looked at him, they said, that's OJ. That's just not some regular black guy, because they know who he is. They know his persona. And obviously, that came crumbling down when he was accused of killing his wife, who was a Caucasian woman. So the thing I want to talk to you about, though, is once black people do get money, what do they do with the money? Okay, because that's what the Tulsa Real Estate Fund video was about. It's about access to capital. Jay Morrison told black people that, look, we need to pool our resources because we don't have access to capital as black people. When I'm talking about large amounts of capital, and really the amount of capital that he raised was not a lot of money. It was $11 million. It's not a lot of money when you're talking about big business. So when OJ got his money, he moved to Brentwood, an all-white suburb in Los Angeles, to my knowledge. And because he did that, the black community looked at him as if he was a sellout. The classic sellout syndrome. And he also left his black wife, got with this white woman, had children. And I guess he wasn't a large participant in the black community. Maybe they didn't feel like he gave back enough. So that's OJ's story. Now let's contrast that on what the people were saying in my comment section about me and my views in that last video, because I guess they didn't agree with me. So the guy comes in the comment section and he says, well, why do you live in this, why are you able to live in this community? And I said, look, man, they outlawed redlining a long time ago, so anybody can live where I live. That's not, it's no longer illegal. It's illegal for you to redline people out of a community. Okay. And so I asked him a question because I was going back and forth with this dude for like a day. And I can tell we were on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of our ideas. So I finally got fed up and I asked him a question. I said, look, man, if you feel like black people can't live wherever they want, or he's asking me, well, why aren't there more black people where you live? And I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Let me ask you a question. I said, you know what? When the founders of Black Lives Matter, who raised money off the backs of dead black men, that's their moneymaker. Us black men dying, they raise funds. After they got two nickels to rub together, after they said that white people are racist, white people are this, and they're scary, and you got to be scared of white folks, and Black Lives Matter. As soon as they got two nickels to rub together, they did the same thing that OJ did. Bought large mansions around all white people. And I asked the guy, I said, do you have the same problem with the founders of BLM that you're having with me? And he ran away from the question because he had to see the hypocrisy in his thinking. But you know what the difference is? He wouldn't address that because he would have to face the fact that there's really no difference between OJ and the founders of Black Lives Matter. The only difference is probably their political views line up with his, or their social views line up with his. So it's okay for the Black Lives Matter founders to do that because they agree with him, or he agrees with them. So they can buy large mansions around all white people, but still promote this rhetoric about, oh, white people are racist, they're against us, you can't grow in this country, blah, blah, blah. And once again, I'm not saying that there's not racism, but it's not your number one problem, okay? It's not your number one problem. So as we talk about access to capital in business, I'm a small business owner, and sometimes it is hard to get access to capital. That is true. But here's another question, I have to ask you. Why didn't the founders of Black Lives Matter move into an all-black community when they got that money? I want you to go in the comment section and tell me what you think about that. And I want you to go ahead and take a look at this clip from a guy I follow on Instagram named Big Reed, where he talks about, in the black community, all of the businesses, these corner stores, they're owned by foreigners. And you have to ask yourself, well, why is that? And one thing with me is that I have had many experiences over the course of 43 years of life as a black man. So you cannot fool me, okay? You can't fool me with these. You can't fool me like you can fool another group of people with your talk, because I know black people, okay? So go ahead and take a look at this clip and I'll come back.
But when it comes to running a business, trying to do proper business, standing on business, man, please. Good luck with that. That's why the Arabs is in the hood, the Mexicans. You think of it, any other kind of race that you can think of is in the hood selling them synthetic dope, synthetic heroin, expired food. We love it. But let a black man open up a poppy store or a smoke shop. They coming in there with guns ablazing, and they gonna kill everything moving and killing the mice, including the mice and roaches.
So you saw that, and there was another YouTube short that I saw where a guy was talking about this, these corner stores in this in the black community, and it was a black guy who commented under one of the videos, and he said he opened up a corner store in the black community. And he said he got tired of being robbed. Now, if you're being honest with yourself, you know that this is the truth. And this is the problem that black people face, is because they want to deal with their people. But there's a lot of issues that come along with that. Same with Jay Morrison and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Black people wanted to do business together with this guy, and he ends up robbing them. You open up a store, you end up getting robbed by your own people. Me as a small business owner, I've been in business for 7 years. The majority of my clientele is white. 95% of them. I don't do a lot of business with my own people. Now, they can call me and I'll come do business with them. They don't call me. So how do you explain that? Tell me in the comment section how you explain it. Tell me, because I don't know, So hit the like button. And also, too, if you want to know more about me, I wrote an ebook about my life and experiences, so you can kind of get to understand why I kind of think the way that I do. And I'll tell you a quick story from my book that applies to this. what I'm talking about. This whole race thing. And then I'm going to touch on politics in just a second. So in my book, I talk about, I was born in 1980, and I'll talk about coming home one night. We were living in a neighborhood. It was still a good neighborhood, but this was around 1985. So drugs started to infiltrate this neighborhood. But we had neighbors and everything. And I talk about in my book how my parents bought this house for $1,000, renovated it, everything. Couldn't do that in today's world. But anyways, my dad drops me, my two siblings off, and my mother. We walk in the house, and I remember it being cold. This is all black community. And I said, Mom, what's going on? We look, somebody had kicked in our back door. They upstairs robbing us. Now, once again, maybe it was some white racists. I don't know. And out of all of my friends that were murdered, and this was in the comment section too, all of my friends who were murdered that I grew up with, they weren't murdered by white racists. Oh, it's just due to proximity. My friends ain't coming back, but it's just due to proximity, and it's okay. So, like I said in the last video, and I got to bring you guys in so I can talk to you about what I want to talk to you about. Because when I make videos about, other things, nobody watches. But I do want to touch on these things when we talk about this Democratic Liberal Party and how they pander to black people, and how I woke up to this and started realizing that it's all a smack in your face. They insult your intelligence. Hillary Clinton, she goes up to the Breakfast Club. She has hot sauce in her purse. Smack in the face. Insult to your intelligence as a black person. Because all we do is eat fried chicken. So you should vote for me. Hillary Clinton goes to Roland Martin. Roland Martin starts doing the wobble. Doing a little soft shoe for her. Insult to your intelligence. A smack in your face as a black person. He up there soft shoeing for this lady. In addition to that, you have Maxine Waters, who comes out and she says, we're going to build more projects for you. So you can stay in your place. Now, Maxine Waters, she lives in a mansion that's worth millions of dollars, but she wants to build more projects for you. So to the person who was talking to me about where I live and this and that, you need to think about that. How Maxine Waters wants her people to live in projects. She wants to build more projects for them, but she can live in a mansion. Now, how she did that in this racist society, I don't know. Joe Biden talking all this rhetoric about they're going to put you back in chains.
Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
I asked myself, I said, now who in this country has been in chains? Oh, he wasn't saying this particular thing. Well, who was he talking about? What was he implying? And you also have to understand that they use attack dogs to talk about these things. So it may not be that particular political candidate, but it'll be their attack dogs who'll say they want to put you guys back in slavery.
Look at the things that they're rolling back. Remember I said ages ago, they, in their minds, they want to bring slavery back. They're okay with it.
So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and I want you guys to go in the comment section. I want you to hit the like button. You can check out my book. You can go to corporatelybook.com. I'll put that in the description box. And I will probably see you on the next one. I think I'm going to end it here. Peace.